Hello, and welcome to the 18th episode of the Chaps Cast Game Chat.
Yes, the 18th. Special episode.
Special, because it's a video.
Yes.
And we're going to try to do this.
Entering our adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That age to start making videos now, Steve?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those pornographic videos, legally.
Yep. But yeah, this is really exciting.
It's crazy.
And
not so crazy, but it's a thing.
It's crazy. It's more work, but it'll be fun. Yeah. It'll be good. So, Steve.
Yes.
We talk games on this podcast.
We do. Chaps Cast Game Chat.
Before we do that, we always have to do a
shot of the show.
Exactly.
Yes.
What's our shot, Steve? Tell us about it.
The shot we're doing today is called Niagara Bench Small Cask. It's a brandy. So, with that said, I went to the LCBO earlier today because I realized we needed a shot of the show. And I picked it up thinking, never seen it before, whatever, pick it up. Turns out we already did this shot. On what episode? I have no idea. Yeah. But I already own a bottle of it. Or at least I don't know if I own or if it's Josh's, but it's in the cupboard over there.
We own 2 half bottles now.
Yep. So we are obligated to do another shot of it. We actually just did a shot of it, but we had to start again for technical reasons.
Yeah.
So, shot 2.
Shot 2 of the show.
Of the show.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh. That time I went down like the wrong way. Oh.
Breathing any fire?
A little bit.
A little bit of fire.
Little puffs of smoke there.
A little bit of smoke. Through the nostrils. Alright. So
Steve.
Josh.
Oh. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. What are we talking about today?
Virginia. Yes. It's a video game that we played. Both of us. Yes.
By the same guys who did Gone Home.
No.
No?
No.
I thought it was.
No. No.
This game?
This is... No. No. No.
Are we sure?
Positive.
I said no enough times and I'm not convinced.
Yeah, the next game's Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know who made this game.
We probably should look that up.
Game.
That's a good way to put it.
Steve, tell me your thoughts on this game.
Now, to be clear, I'm all down for interactive storytelling games.
Yeah.
I'm 100% behind everything Telltale has done so far that I've played. The only one I haven't played was Minecraft, which I'll play eventually. With that said, when I was looking into this game, there were a lot of positive reviews for the most part on IGN, Polygon, one negative one from Destructoid, and I was like, for $10, let's get our own opinion on it. And it's like a 3-hour game, so it's gonna take us no time to play.
Yeah. Oh, that
a lot of people compared this game to Stranger Things, and that really bugs me. Not Stranger Things. Wow, good show though.
Good show.
Life is Strange. Sorry,
okay.
I keep mixing those two up because I was playing the one while I was watching the other, and names are similar enough. Life is Strange. Life is Strange is one of my favorite games. Wonderful interactive storytelling game. Really good. Really good. I can't stress that enough. Go play it. With that said, this was nothing at all like that, Josh.
No.
This game, as you know.
Yeah.
0 dialogue.
No dialogue at all.
Which I was okay with.
It was weird.
But there were a lot of other things I wasn't okay with.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this without getting into spoiler territory yet?
Without getting into spoilers, I thought it's barely a game. Like, I love the interactive story or whatever, like with Gone Home, or like, I didn't love Firewatch, but I liked Firewatch.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Future episode?
Yeah, I like games like that. But this didn't feel like a game to me. It felt like they wanted to tell me a story, but didn't have any dialogue. So there's no real... Like, it's hard to say what the story is because there's no dialogue.
It's very up to interpretation.
Yeah. And then... But the one good thing that I really liked about it was the music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was beautifully scored.
It was.
I loved it. But that's it.
What did you get from the story?
Are we going into spoilers now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now this clock is off, so I'm going to guesstimate at the 5-minute mark.
Okay. Yeah. Spoilers. What did I get from it?
What did you get? What did you think happened? Because ultimately, there's no certain of anything in this game. There's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of assumptions.
Yeah. So I'm playing this game, right? And you're this FBI agent who's all like, oh, we gotta solve this case of this missing boy who's probably murdered or gone somewhere. But you also have to investigate your partner. Because you have to be like, we don't think she's up to snuff or something. Check in on her.
Okay.
So you're doing that, and then she finds out that you're watching her, and she gets all mad at you. And you're like, forgive me, and throw the file away.
Yep.
And then there's some aliens in there somewhere.
Skip right to the end. There was a lot of craziness with this.
It just jumps around. Like, because you're doing one thing, and you're like, okay, this is good, and then next scene type thing, and it's like, what am I doing here?
And this game really borderlined on, like, sometimes you would just wake up.
Yeah.
And it's like, was that the previous day?
Yeah.
Was this a dream that just happened? What just happened? I have no idea. Was this legitimate? Were there really aliens at this part? I don't know. There's a fucking... now, I'm sure there are themes that we are missing and that this game is probably way deeper than either of us are. Period. We are probably not deep enough for this game. But there's a buffalo, right?
I don't get that buffalo at all.
A reoccurring buffalo throughout the entire game. And I was like, there's a theme. There's something going on here with this buffalo.
Yeah.
And at the end, they sacrifice the buffalo, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
oh my god, see, this game's so weird that I don't understand what's happening. And it's like, they can't even tell me what's happening because there's no dialogue. There's no subtitles.
Yeah.
There's just some sign, like, you're just doing things. And it's...
Which I kind of, like, I like the idea of.
I like it if they did it better.
Yeah. So, some of the things that we kind of skimmed over. Like
Yes.
you said, we're an FBI agent.
Yeah.
Starts out, you're graduating from FBI school.
Yeah.
You shake your boss's hand. You go, you enter the office eventually, and he gives you the job of investigate this missing boy and investigate your partner, who I don't know if it's a matter of not up to snuff or if it's a matter of could be up to other activities. Keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
And then you do a really good job of that. And so you keep getting handed these files of other FBI agents. And as the game progresses, your coworkers start packing up their stuff and leaving.
Yeah.
You know, and you're befriending all of them. So
yeah, it shows you like, they come over with beer and cards, play poker.
yeah. And then the next day they're packing up their stuff. So clearly something happened.
And then this one point, like, because your main buddy that you're through with most of the game,
yeah,
you rat her out or whatever, and you both end up in jail. And one day you get let out of jail. But is that a dream? Is that aliens? Who knows?
And then just before that, though, like she's in the jail.
Yeah.
And she opens up an envelope, a red envelope.
Yeah.
And there's a piece of evidence in there from earlier. It's a little pink thing. I don't even know what the evidence was.
I don't know.
And then she eats it. Yeah. And then she fucking starts tripping the fuck out.
She walks through
She
a wall.
just loses it. An elevator pops through the wall.
Yeah.
She goes in this elevator, and then this takes her down back to where the crime scene was taking place, or one of the crime scenes was taking place in a cave. Yeah. And then you're following this light, and it was trippy.
I mean...
I was like, what? Right?
What is it?
And then just after that part, there were aliens, right? Mm-hmm. Just after that part. So I was like, I don't know if there's actually aliens going on, if this is a part of the trip. Did I even escape this jail? What?
Yeah. And then it shows
3
you...
hours.
Yeah.
3 hours of this.
I feel like they tried to shove a lot into 3 hours. Yeah. It's like they wanted to make a movie, and they're like, that's too much effort.
We can't hire the actors.
We can't hire an actor.
We don't have the budget.
I don't know. Like, it seems like it's supposed to be like an indie movie. Because, like, the gameplay is walk from point A to point B where you interact with only one object.
Yep. Which I feel like a hypocrite for, like, agreeing with that, only because we're both such into, like, Telltale games.
That's different, though.
Storytelling games.
Because they're actually telling a story. They're like, this is the story that we want you...
This is telling a story. Not a story that we understand.
It's telling
This is deep,
nothing.
Josh, like an onion.
God damn, because they have layers?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, with, like, Gone Home, because people are like, oh, it's a walking simulator. But it's like, there's this carefully structured story that you can experience in any way that you want. Right? Like, you're not, like, besides, like, some doors gating you or whatever, there's ways to get straight to the end of the game if you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
If you
like,
somehow
there's
figured
an achievement for it. For
yeah.
like
do it in
30 seconds or something, or a minute.
But it's like, just finding out and like you're actually engaged and you're learning and like the environment. It's just teaching you so much and you're learning this cool story about this cool girl.
Yeah.
And like same with Firewatch and all these other games. But this one's like, you're not telling me anything, so I'm guessing. Right off the bat, I'm guessing. I'm this woman. I put on lipstick.
Okay. With that said, I put on lipstick. Because it is the very first thing you do. You put on lipstick. With that said, are you saying, would you be against all games without dialogue?
No, because Journey doesn't have dialogue, and that game's amazing.
Good point. I was going to mention Journey, and I was going to mention...
And Flower.
Inside.
Oh, Inside, yeah.
Because that game, no dialogue, extremely up to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're trying to tell... See, with Inside, too, is like it felt like they were trying to tell a story instead of be like, aliens, weird
I
stuff.
feel like this was trying to tell a story. I think it's a matter of we're not deep enough. There's something more that we don't... No, I really do think there's something more to this because, like, there are a lot of people who like this game. Like, for the most part, most people like this game.
Really?
Yeah, and even I was on Twitter the other day. Mitch Dyer, he used to be with IGN.
Yeah.
He was like, this is one of the best games of the year. And
no, Mitch, you're wrong.
That was one of the things I was like, for $10, I'll give it a shot because I like most of the things he recommends.
Yeah, he usually has good taste.
And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I just did. What just happened?
Like, do they see something we're not seeing?
See? Right, it's got to go back to the buffalo.
I don't... Oh my god, there's so much in the game that I just don't understand, and it makes it seem like, am I just not smart enough for this? But clearly, like, I can understand Gone Home, I can understand Journey, and, like, Flower.
We're not dumb, useless people.
But it's just the way that they're trying to tell the story. It makes it seem like it's lacks focus, kind of, maybe.
Almost feels like it lacks direction.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like they didn't know what they wanted to do. And they just kind of do some cool stuff. And
sure, there are themes, but these themes... They don't, at least, I shouldn't even say first glance because I've glanced at it multiple times. Don't make sense.
No.
I want to say there's more to it, but I don't see it.
No.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either, Steve. It makes me sad. Because I like these types of games. I like trying to give them a shot.
So do I.
But,
all the disappoint.
Like, the first thing I texted you, Steve, was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. The fuck was that? I was like, right? And then I wasn't sure, like, if it was a positive, what the fuck was that? Like, but I was like, there's... The ending of this game, it doesn't give you a clear answer on what happened to this boy. Because there are a variety of different potential... people who could have done this. A lot of or a lot of potential guilty parties.
The buffalo.
It's gotta be the buffalo. And that's why they sacrificed the buffalo. It's a revenge thing. Huh. And then at the very end, you're driving with the original person that you were investigating.
I don't know.
And you see a boy who looks painfully similar to the boy from the start that you're investigating walking on the side of the road. Right? I'm like 90% of this. I remember this scene.
The last thing I remember, which is probably wrong. You're probably right. But I remember walking into the field and they see him and then like this cute girl or whatever holds his hand and walks him onto an alien ship.
Was it a girl? I couldn't even tell. Like I just saw a shadow figure. And
maybe they're trying to be like Helix girls and put a wig on one of them.
Let's bring it back to the alien ship.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this game. That's really all I have to say about it. Like, I don't even know. This game was such a large question mark for me.
Yeah. Like, because at first it felt like it was telling a solid story of what happened to this boy. Let's figure out what happened.
Yep.
And at like one point you're interviewing the parents and it's like, holy shit, did the parents do this? I want to find out what happens. And then it just kind of leaves that. Puts it to the side.
One really eerie moment for me was when you weren't playing as the investigator. Like sometimes it would bounce around between a couple different characters at one point. And I was like, is this a dream? Is this what's happening here? But then you're in like an out of body experience, and you're viewing from like the corner of a room where the father, who's also a priest, was sitting at a desk.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he was getting head from this woman, right? That's what was happening. Yeah. So, and then I guess his wife calls out or something, and there's a reason for him to stand up and leave the room. And so he's leaving the room, and he opens the door, and the wife, you can't see the face of the wife, but it was just a shadowy person standing there staring. And I don't know if that was the wife or that was the child. I think it was the wife, though.
Could have been an alien.
Could have been an alien. Is this an X-Files game?
The truth is out there, Steve. Oh my god.
Final thoughts.
It was a mediocre... Like, I can't even really say it was a game. I didn't enjoy this game. It felt like a movie. Even in the way it started... It's like, here's the credit. Yeah, it's like, here's the credits. And I was like, and here's this music.
Yeah, that was interesting, too.
I was like, what are you, Hideo Kojima? You can't do this.
Yeah, it definitely felt more of a movie than a game.
Yeah.
Good, bad, would you recommend?
I would not recommend it.
Would not recommend.
No.
Even for the 3 hours?
No.
Was it worth the $10?
I don't know. Was it...
I know I paid for it. Would you have paid $10 knowing this is what you were getting into?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. I would recommend going for Gone Home. Maybe even Firewatch.
Yeah. With that said, even the achievements were kind of fucked up.
It didn't make any sense. It doesn't tell... Like, because most of them, like, in a achievement would be like, you do this, you get the achievement. This one's like... And it's like, oh...
Yeah, it's literally like...
Did I get it?
A blurb.
Yeah.
No... Nothing, no hint of any kind.
Some of them just random letters and numbers.
Yeah, stuff was popping up every once in a while. I was like, okay.
I guess I did something.
And yeah, completely random numbers.
Yeah.
So like one's for like 92 or 96 or something, and I was like, you couldn't just make it on the 0 or on the 5.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I think throughout the whole experience, I only got 3 achievements.
Yeah, I think I got 4 or 5.
Yeah. And we both beat the game.
I walked from point A to point B, pressed
drank
button.
a lot of coffees.
Yeah, that's the secret.
All right. I think we pretty much wrapped everything up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it either to anybody.
Not at all.
No, I do think there's got to be more to it, and I'm going to look more into this game.
I'm done with it. Like, it kind of seems like the achievements are easy, but at the same time, I don't want to go back to that world to get the achievements.
Yeah, and you have to start over. I'm not touching the achievements. It's a matter of I'm going to watch YouTube videos about this game. Find out more.
More discussions.
Yeah. More forums. Yeah.
I feel like Destructoid, you said it's Destructoid? Gave the low score.
It was.
Yeah, they nailed it.
They did.
Trust that guy.
Yeah, we should look him up. Because, yeah, I was really hesitant.
It's too bad.
That guy was right on the money, though.
Who reviewed it for IGN?
I'm not sure offhand.
That's too bad.
I think it was somebody that I didn't recognize, though. That's probably why I don't remember.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What time are we at, Steve?
We are sitting at the 18-minute mark on here. We start this always before we start that, for technical purposes.
Do you want to talk something else?
Well, I guess we have 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
We can touch on Firewatch. Because I feel like there's not enough that we need a full episode obligated to that.
Yeah. Because you just played Firewatch, because it just came to Xbox One.
Yeah, I played it about a week ago.
And I'd like to hear your thoughts.
You're playing as a game. You're playing as a guy named, I think his name was Henry.
Yep.
Henry, now the first 10, 15 minutes, emotional.
Yeah.
That was the best part of the game. I was going into this game not expecting a lot because you talked about it briefly before and you were disappointed by the game.
Yeah.
And the first 10, 15 minutes, I was like, wow, this is going to be something else. This is a good game. This is going to be something.
Yeah.
And then you start playing it after that whole where you're picking the options on what you say to your future wife.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you're not a nice person.
No?
I didn't think so. Like, at one point, your wife gets offered a job or something. And it's a matter of you refuse to leave the city you live in. You're like, if you want to go for this job, you can commute.
Or I don't want you to go to this job.
Or you're not taking this job. There's no fucking in between. And I was like, well, Henry, you're an asshole. I guess you can commute. I want you to take the job you want. Like,
yeah.
And then she gets dementia. And she starts losing her shit. And you start getting depressed. And at one point, you want to go out to the bar. And you're like, do I lock her in her room, put a chair up against the door so that I can go out to the bar? Or do I just leave the door? And this way, maybe she's going to start a fire in the fucking kitchen. Who knows? And I was like, I have to lock her in the room. If I have to go to this bar, I wouldn't go to the bar. Why am I going to the bar?
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess I'll lock her in the room. Hope she doesn't burn the house down. So I did that. Ultimately, you end up going on as a volunteer Firewatch person. So you're living in this.
Tried to get away from it all.
Yeah. So you're living in this cabin lookout type thing, and shit gets crazy.
That's crazy.
I'm a fan of this game up until the last half hour.
Yeah, it's
because there wasn't a lot of gameplay, and I hated the map system. I thought the controls were kind of a little bit off.
Yeah.
There's something that was just, it wasn't comfortable, but it was okay because it was still telling an interesting story. I thought Henry, spoilers, I thought Henry was going crazy, or he had some sort of mental illness.
That would have been awesome if that happened.
Because he's talking to this lady named Delilah.
Yeah. And
she seems funny, charismatic, a little bit of a drug, but interesting character. And there's this whole kind of conspiracy thing that appears to be going on. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that? Or
conspiracy?
Because you see a man standing there, and you report back to Delilah, and he's sitting on like this little cliff, and you're like, oh, I just saw a guy, and she's like, you're at a campground. He's probably just camping, Henry. And he's like, no, this was really weird. He was staring at me. Henry, just fucking leave him. And you're like, no, this was really weird. And then she just brushes you off. And then at another point, you hear Delilah talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
This is what irked me. Because you hear her talking to somebody else, and the radio's supposed to be off. She thinks it's off, but it's not. And it's like, she says something along the lines of, do you think he knows? Okay. All right, bye. And then a few seconds later, she's like, hey, Henry. And you can choose to confront her and be like, yo, what was that about?
Yeah.
Or you can choose to just ignore it. And I confront her. I was like, yo, what was that about? And then she got upset. And I was like, whoa, you're talking about shit. That sounds like you're talking about me.
Yeah.
Bitch, we're the only two out here. What's going on? Like, that's why I thought this whole conspiracy was going on. Tell me your thoughts.
I thought it was a really good game.
Yeah.
But, like, it was being praised as, like, potential game of the year and stuff when it came out. And I was like, nah.
No.
Because, like, as you're saying, like, the story for, like, the first, like, 3/4 of the game, great. I'm really enjoying, like, interacting with Delilah, learning more about Henry, seeing what's happening at this campsite.
Yeah.
And then I like the crazy idea because when I was playing the game, there's this one part where you have to go do something and then go back to your tower.
Yeah.
And then she says she sees you in your tower, and then you're like, I'm not at my tower. Just someone in my tower.
Oh, shit.
But when they said that to me, I was at the bottom of the stairs of my tower.
Well, hey, that must have made you both nervous, though.
I was like,
confrontation.
What the hell's going to happen? I haven't really seen anyone yet. Like, this is going to be really huge. And then you go up the stairs and there's no one there. And it's like, my place is all fucked up. There was someone in my tower. There's no other way out of this.
There's literally one staircase.
And that's where it's like the crazy thing is like, that would be pretty good. Like, maybe he was crazy. Maybe I did that before.
Maybe Delilah's not a real person.
Maybe, yeah.
It was up until the point when you have like an inner monologue and you question, am I crazy? Am I making this up? Mm-hmm. Up until that point, and they acknowledged that, I was like, up until that point, I was like, yeah, he's crazy. But then as soon as they acknowledged that, I was like, no, they spoiled it too soon. This game still has more time left in it. There's still a lot I don't know. That can't be it.
Yeah.
And then that's not it. Do you want to tell us about what happened and what it was? I want to check the time here. Yeah, so for 2 minutes, actually.
2 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Go.
So what happens?
Yes.
I forget, Steve. The man.
Okay, it has been a long time for you.
Yeah.
There was a son and a man who was camping there at one point. There's only supposed to be certain people of a certain age that's allowed to go there. Right. Delilah pulled a blind eye to it, and the boy ended up dying. He appears to have fallen down a cliff of some type into a cave. However, there's kind of back and forth on whether or not the father actually murdered him. Mm. You never get a clear answer on that. With that said, it turns out to be the father that was living out in the campgrounds sneaking about, causing all of these things. And with that said, he had this whole fucking scientific campground set up with all these radios and everything, and a written monologue of everything that was fucking going on between you and Delilah over the radio. And it's like, how does this one person do all of this?
Yeah.
He doesn't. There should have been so much more. There should have been a conspiracy. And at the end, you find out it's just this one fucking guy who hasn't left the campground.
Yeah.
This whole thing was just this one guy, and it could have been a conspiracy. It could have been a mental illness. There's so many options that it could have been, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
Yeah. And then you never get to see Delilah either.
I thought that was okay, though.
Well, because, like, I was like, oh, man, Henry's starting to like Delilah. And I was like, wait for me. Because, like, there's a forest fire you guys have to
Oh,
yeah. She doesn't wait for you.
She's like, no.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a really good game. Just was missing the ending.
Anticlimactic, yeah, for sure. All right, Josh, where can everybody reach us?
At chapspodcast@gmail.com.
You can like us on Facebook.
Yes.
Hit the email button right on Facebook. And
iTunes.
Subscribe on YouTube, too.
And subscribe on YouTube.
What up? Like this.
Audio usually goes up first on Spreaker, followed by iTunes, and then YouTube.
Yes.
Mondays for this show, Fridays for the normal podcast.
Yeah, the one we're doing shortly after. So we'll be wearing the same stuff. All right. I think it's time to call it a day.
Thank you for joining me, Steve.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everybody. Or watching.
Ba-da-ba.
Bye, everybody.